All right, guys, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about where you can find high quality long form editors for your brand. Because I know that this might be kind of difficult for you as you're scaling up your brand, as you want to build up your brand. So I'm going to tell you where to find them as well as what to look for so you know that you're getting the best for what you can basically look for. Plus, there's not a lot of quality long form editors in the market right now, so this should be able to help you out. All right, so the first thing that you should probably keep in mind is where are the A players? Because the way I kind of like to think about it is if you were to want to register at Stanford or MIT or any of these Ivy League schools, would you want to be hanging out with people at the community colleges or would you want to hang out with people at the Ivy Leagues? Same thing for sports. If you want to become a professional NBA player, a professional soccer player, would you want to go to tennis players or just people that are playing for fun? Or would you want to go to the stadiums and train with the guys in the league? It's basically the same concept. And I mentioned this because I don't know if it's just me, but I think when it comes to the editing markets, I think a lot of creators and influencers, they almost don't really understand the thought process behind editors and how editors at the end of the day, they do want what is best for them as well, because there has to be an incentive. So if they want the best for them, then they would go where the best will be for them. So keep this in mind, like truly keep this in mind. Where would you go? In fact, if you're an editor, where would you want to go? Would you want to go somewhere where your skill set is valued in the marketplace, or would you want to go somewhere where it's not very valued and you're just kind of seen as a commodity? Ideally, you want to go to the former instead of the latter. So keep that in mind. That's the first thing. The second mindset, principle type of thing, and then I'll get into tactics, is you want to see the value of their work, which kind of ties back into the first point. But you want to see the value of their work because oftentimes people will ask like quite quickly, what is your pricing? And sometimes editors that are quite good, they'll say their pricing, but that kind of like turns off the prospect. It kind of turns off the creator, the influencer, whatever. And it's just like what, like 200 or 300 or 500, 1,000 for this? It's like, and that's because they likely do not see the value in it. It's because either A, the editor, they're not communicating the true value to the prospect, or B, the prospect, they're just not that interested because it doesn't give them what they want. And because they are probably just not the right persona to have that type of service. So as you're looking for editors, just understand that a lot of these editors, I would assume they want to be valued. They want to be appreciated. They want their work to be seen as something that people want. Because I see a lot of times, like on platforms like Twitter, sometimes even TikTok too, where people are like, I'll edit this clip for you. It's like 30-second clip. I'll do it for like $10 or $5 or something. Sometimes the edits are kind of good. Sometimes they're not. But like, I guess this is to say that really it matters on what type of editor you're speaking to, what you're looking for, as well as how you perceive their value and if they're actually delivering what you want. And probably the third like principle or mindset thing I guess to think of is having an editor is like a collaboration. It's a partnership, because I don't know if YouTubers or stuff like that, if a lot of them kind of see their editors as like a side thing. And it's just like, I'll just give you my work, just go do. I mean, that's fine, obviously, but you want to be able, like I said, to make sure that the editor, they feel appreciated, they feel respected, they feel like they're not a commodity, all these things, because it ultimately does matter and it will influence the quality of their work depending on how you see them. So keep this in mind. So as far as the tactics go to actually find them, the nitty gritty or whatever you want to call it, when it comes to like, I guess, social media platforms, I would recommend Twitter, more specifically the money side of Twitter, people like to call themselves, basically the side on Twitter where they're selling something to you. And I would specifically recommend profiles that are quite big in following when it comes to TikTok content, YouTube content. Basically people that are talking about like, this is how you can get X result with TikTok or YouTube, or maybe they have communities for TikTok, for YouTube, etc. Like for example, a few people that come to mind is Jimmy Farley. He has this community known as The Collective. There's a lot of editors in there that are pretty good. And just a bunch of other communities like that. You want to find these influencers, ideally, influencers on money side of Twitter that are talking about TikTok, YouTube, short form, long form content, ideally long form if you're looking for that. And also another thing too is a lot of these short form editors, they can be trained into long form. Just keep that in mind as you're looking. Another place I would look for is in vetted Discord groups. And I say vetted because these type of Discord groups are kind of weird, or at least they can get very weird. Basically, look into possibly like anime, AMV Discords, or sport compilation Discords. Basically just Discords that are in regards to video editing. There's a couple of influencers in the editing space, like for example, Finzar. He definitely has a ton of editors in there, and some other influencers, I'll likely list them here or something like that on the screen. Not too sure, but yeah, basically there's a lot of influencers in the editing niche on YouTube, and they then have communities. Some of them are paid communities, some of them are free communities, but you can really just get everyone you're looking for through the free communities. If you want, ideally, if you want a higher quality, a higher standard, editors that are likely more serious, then you would join a paid community. But the free communities should do just fine. And basically, you'll just look at channels like promotions or opportunities, job opportunities, basically stuff like that. People that are looking to become an editor for a brand or to work with a brand, a creator, influencer, etc. And yeah, you just kind of go from there. So that's the second place you can kind of look for. So the third place that you can look for, which I probably say is the last place because this is kind of what I've done, as well as the collective Discord one too. But the third place I would look for is Telegram chats, vetted Telegram chats. So I know saying Telegram and vetted, same sentence, that might sound kind of weird, but I'm being serious because Telegram, I don't really know if it has a good reputation or not, but personally I benefited from the platform. And if you join the right groups, like for example, Hassan's New Money group, there's definitely a bunch of long form editors in there, a bunch of people that they have very good skill sets, good services, etc. And yeah, basically just ask them in the chat. Same with all these other things I mentioned before, asking in the Money Twitter, asking in the Discords, and asking in the vetted Telegrams, asking these people like, are there any long form editors here that can edit content for me? And yeah, basically just ask that question and you'll likely get flooded with people. These are all the points that I have in mind right now. I'll most likely make a video like this in the future as I guess, learn more, gain more experience, doing more work for people, more editing for people, stuff like that. I'll just report more. But until then, I guess these are the points that you just kind of want to keep in mind. So come back to this video in case you want to just kind of learn some more or to just review. And yeah, that's basically about it. So thank you for watching. Take care.